There's some nice people who comment on my YouTube videos. There's a lady named Judith. She says she used to teach chemistry. I'm not sure if she's Jewish. She left a comment on a book that I just had a few comments on it once I finished it. So that's what I do on my YouTube channel. If I don't do an audio visual, I'll still number it and post it. It's kind of like a virtual library of mine. Just everything's for my daughter, you know. Partially, I want people to know that I read, and it's kind of like a peacock, or you know how they show the colors on their wings, you know. It's kind of like, hey, I like reading books to the females, opposite sex. I watched a movie yesterday. It's called something in the whale, Snail in the Whale, or something like that. It's really good. It's about these two parents that are writers, and the mom leaves the dad. Kind of the effects of the two young boys. It's on YouTube. It's on Netflix, excuse me. Also, there's one called The Closer with Natalie Portman. Oh man. There's this part where she becomes a stripper. She's fucking beautiful. It's also with Julia Roberts, who's also fucking gorgeous. She has weird lips, but she's gorgeous. Anyway, back to that lady Judith. She just left a comment saying that she liked that book. It's one of her favorite authors of the book that I read recently called The Chosen. It's written by a Jewish author. And she referred me to another book that he wrote. And then also a book about the periodic tables. But how this gentleman, it's a novel, I think, but I think he's kind of like autobiographical as well. He kind of compares some people from his family, certain characters, like maybe an uncle. He compares them to certain elements on the periodic tables. But she had some nice comments to leave for me. I guess she saw my recent vlog. So I fell asleep a little after 12 yesterday. And I woke up at 5:30. It's my first day of this journey. It's my first day of school, first day of college. I'm telling myself, I had like a little bit of glimpses of like an emotion yesterday. I try to really focus on myself as a student. I'm trying to get you to understand, like, I kind of envision myself like really enjoying school, but I had to really think about it. I'm like, okay, I'm at that point where like school is like super important. Like, I even thought about it yesterday. Like, a lot of times I think it's a necessity. Students that come from a place where they're like, man, school's my only way out, they really focus on that. A lot of times it's subconscious. A lot of the kids that you might think they look nerdy, or they're like super studious, or they're quiet and weird. You don't know, they might come from a background where their fucking family has some fucked up shit going on behind closed doors. And so they really that's their way out. They're focused on school, etc., you know? You'd be very surprised. And I was thinking, like, it's kind of like I have to figure out this career path of mine. And so kind of like this is necessary for me, you know? I didn't realize it back then when I was younger. And I guess I still struggle to focus, but back then I can only imagine. And so homie's throwing out the advertisements. So I thought about it, like, I really want to fall in love with school. I'm not there yet. It's like a new, I'm beginning something new where I'm gonna have to get used to it. Especially sitting inside the classroom the whole time and trying to focus and learn. Which is another thing I wanted to talk about. How I'm like learning myself. Like back then in school and high school, and I was more preoccupied on like who's in my class, you know? Like, oh, who's in my class in this period? Or I was like more like wondering like, oh, in a sense, like, oh, obviously, you know, being a young boy or being a male, like, oh, there's gonna be a pretty female in my class. You know, we already knew who was in our school, right? Oh, is so-and-so gonna be in my class? But then you're also wondering like, oh, is this person gonna, like, oh, is this like more like, is this guy gonna be in my class? Because this person likes to, you know, make fun of people, or this person like, I don't know, this person's outgoing character kind of overshadows a particular character that's more self-conscious, you know? But and then I'm also thinking like I'm starting to go to college now, or it's my first day. I haven't even started yet, but I'm thinking like, but I'm this, me adding going to college is only adding to a lot of other things that I like to do, you know? Like it's in addition to an already busy schedule. I hate to say that because you know what I'm thinking about is my daughter. You know, because I like to read books. Well, I read books, I exercise, and then I have my part-time job. And then I'm adding school to it, right? Because it's like 4 things, right? Exercise, reading, work, and school. But one thing I'm not even saying, which is the most important thing when it comes to just being a human and your human spirit, is that I'm a father, you know? But my daughter's not even around. I'm not gonna dwell on that too much, but also that's the most important thing. But you know, besides my baby mama maybe watching this, like, oh, he's going to school, lucky for him, he doesn't have to watch our daughter. And not only that, but it's at least I could fucking do, you know? At least I could do is read and exercise. So that way I could leave that tradition down to my daughter so she could do those things, you know? I mean, imagine if I was trying to make the best of a fucked up situation. It's pretty funny, like, when people look at you, like, if you're giving, like, with, like, especially men, they look at you with the fucked up stare, and you could really give, like, no fuck less about them, those type of people, you know? But I'd rather be me than them, you know? But anyway, it's like when people notice you, you could give a fuck less about noticing them, you know? See, this bench is dirty or dusty. But, you know, I mean, I'm trying to make the best out of a fucked up situation. I hate to say this, but at least I'm not on drugs or wasting my time. Or, you know, I think later on, I think as a whole, you know, in relation to each other as a family, my daughter and I, her and her family on that side, they'll be glad that I went to school and I documented me reading books. And, you know, my daughter's only gonna want to be better than me, you know. I think we're competitive by nature, and we want to be better than our own parents, you know. It's better to want to be better than your parents than to have no parents and to be out in the streets wanting to be better than those around you, because that's how you form enemies. When they're not your family, they'll fucking harm you. So yeah, those are just my thoughts, and I'll let you know how school goes. You know, we'll see. I also thought this was pretty funny. I'm 32 years old. And this morning I told myself, you know what? After I take a piss, I gotta make sure I have a piece of toilet paper in my hand so I can wipe the tip of my penis after I take a piss, after I go pee, because that smell builds up, you know? And I think it's just a better practice of hygiene. So I wanna ask you men out there, how many of you guys have never been one to wipe your penis after you take a piss? Because I'm definitely gonna make that a habit now, just like I floss my teeth to wipe myself. And a weird, funny thought is kind of running through my head, and I'm sure there's women out there who don't wipe their vagina after they pee. But hey, men and women, the only thing that's different is maybe that she's a woman and I'm a man, and strength and hormones and maybe the natural desire to do certain things better than the other because of our sex. But definitely you want to wipe your private after you take a piss. We're learning. Please, Mother Nature, or Heavenly God, man or woman or woman, Manowin, Malwin, right? Please let there be another old person in my class. Not that I'm old, but I'm noticing a lot of fucking young people here. Or just from getting off the bus. But please let there be somebody that's out, straight out the diaper, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna get a coffee. When I was coming to sign up, the coffees were $1. I think there was like donations, but then it was running out. So definitely, I don't want to be spending $3 4 days out of the week. Plus when I work, I definitely had to take a shit. So here comes a middle age. I'm not middle age, I'm fucking semi. Middle age is 50. We could live to 100, all right, guys? Believe in that. Anyway, I think I'm already at the building where I have class, so take a shit. I see a guy doesn't look like he's straight out of high school. I'll take a shit. And here we go. Here you guys, the restroom make a lock. Must be for handicap. Must be the original lock right here. Original lock, 19,000. At least they bless the ladies with the free Mentos. Anyway, but here's the restroom piece. So far, so good. I found myself very intrigued. My mind is where I need it to be. There's people in my class, young people, like a sleeping class. It's like their mind ain't present, you know? It's kind of, I found myself wanting to tell them, like, be present, you know? But who knows what they have going on in life. But I found myself enjoying it. I found myself with a smile. Very good. I had to take a piss. She didn't give us a break, so the clip after this, I believe you guys hear the lecture. Super cool lady. A little kind of preoccupied with the world. She references funny things. I think she has a fake butt. She had a few slides giving examples of different psychological aspects, cognitive psychology, counseling psychology, I don't know what she's saying, biological psychology. So there's sports psychology. It's kind of where I want to get into. She said the newest aspect of psychology is actually sports psychology. I guess all the studies they're doing. And in my notes, this lady's a doctor, and she said she's from the University of Alabama. I think she's from Alabama. I think she said it. She said it herself that the football culture in Alabama is insane. She used those words, insane. Not all those people make it to the NBA, you know. There could be a pandemic or an epidemic over there of kids who think they're going to make the NFL. I said NBA, didn't I? Young adults think they're going to make the NFL. They got these parents living vicariously through them. And, you know, they might be raising them a little rough. Like, come on, don't quit, you know. You're not tired, you can do it. Oh, you're not starting, you're not on the field. A lot of these kids who are popular or high achievers in their hometown where they're from, superstars all going to Alabama, and they don't make it, you know. And what happens then? That's why I don't really like those popular sports in high school. I'm kind of against them. I like the sports nobody really knows about. I mean, it all depends from where you're from too, you know. In Southern California, basketball, football, cheerleading, these seem to be the more popular sports. But in other places, it could be wrestling, you know, it could be fucking golf. And it's all the same. It doesn't matter the sport, it matters how the mind is getting taken care of, you know, and lack thereof. But anyway, I'm not as tired, but we'll see how the end of the week pans out. But I do have a homework assignment. They're just making a 4-minute video, some questions. The teacher wants to get to know us, so I like where my mind's at. You know, I'm 32 years old. I had some questions in class, but I didn't get to the point where I was asking questions to be pretentious or trying to get attention on me. I really had, the teacher did talk a lot, you know, but she's pretty cool if you just have a question or you say something out loud, you know. Anyway, good first day, man. We don't need a book. She hasn't said to get the book yet, so anyway, peace. All right, guys, we're continuing Edgar Allan Poe. Sounds. But while we are confined to books, though the most select and classic, and read only particular written language. Edgar Allan Poe, Sounds. But while we are confined to books, though the most select and classic, and read only. Edgar Allan Poe, Sounds. But while we are confined to books, though the most select and classic, and read only particular written languages, which are themselves but dialects and provincial, we are in danger of forgetting the language which all things and events speak without metaphor, which alone is copious and standard. Much is published but little printed. The rays which stream through the shutter will no longer be remembered, will no longer All right, homework assignment number 1 for Mrs. K. Roberts, Dr. Roberts. Well, my name is James Matthew Rivera. I'm 32 years old, soon to be 33. Things that I care about, my family, specifically my young daughter, who's gonna turn 5 in September. Her future, her self-belief, her ability to endure what struggles may come her way, her mental state, her peace of mind, her heart, and how she views the world, how she lives her life, her self-love. What makes me unique, I think, is my work ethic and my belief in myself, my desire to do great things. Movies that I like, I don't have anything specific. I do like Good Will Hunting, The Fisher King. So many great movies out there. Right now I love romantic movies, romantic comedies with a beautiful main character woman that makes me laugh and feel good inside. I like actors such as Joaquin Phoenix and Robin Williams. Actors, you know, who did their job to escape their pain, etc. Ones that are really odd and interesting. My favorite music is that of those artists who are considered to be legendary and iconic, and those who also ultimately give their life to their art, probably dysfunctional, and battle their darkness within their art of music and movies, you know, and any art form. You know, for example, the 27 Club, Martyrs for Their Expression, XXX Tentacion, Marvin Gaye, Tupac, Amy Winehouse, just to name a few, Kurt Cobain, John Coltrane, people who even, you know, did drugs. I'm more interested in the story behind the genius, the cause, and any albums I could listen to all the way through. I don't think there's any really albums that are perfect, except maybe classical music you could just put on and just listen to it while you're maybe doing homework or studying or doing things around the house. I guess I'm just being critical. I also think nothing in life is perfect. I feel like you could just don't think too much. You know, keep sharpening that sword and swinging the axe. Not every strike will be perfect, but in time, the diamond will arise. Sounds corny now that I'm reading it out loud. I think it makes sense. I discover new music by the world. Greatness always finds a way to reveal itself as if it's equal to the truth. Social media, I use YouTube. I read books and do audio and visual uploads of the books that I read. Teachers, professors, students have thanked me and acknowledged that I've helped them focus by following along to some books that I've read. I also exercise and upload videos of me exercising. Same thing. People have acknowledged what I do and said that I've helped them. Also, I guess to keep up with the world, I, like anybody else, watch videos that seem interesting or popular, part of the culture, or, you know, but I try to limit that. Try not to watch too much of what's going on out in the world that may not be positive or good for you. It may not be a good use of your time. So yeah, I think social media is a tool. It could be used good or bad, like any other tool, you know. Anyway, almost there to 4 minutes, and glad to make your acquaintance. And it's going to be a good class. I already know. Thank you. Who else wishes that Bumblebee's arch nemesis were flies? I wish bumblebees killed flies. I fucking hate flies. And my professor, Dr. Roberts, she says she's 49, man. She looks like she's fucking 35. Really good fucking genes. She said her daughter's 25 and she's a country singer. You can tell she loves her daughter. She's like, my daughter comes before anything. I get a text message and my daughter. It's pretty interesting. And yeah, I gotta try to make the dollar store before I catch my bus, so I'm running a little bit late. This bus comes once an hour. If not, I gotta make a detour. I was able to take a little nap for at least a good 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure. It's probably gonna help me though. And oh yeah, I was using my laptop and I was just like using it to like kind of like be, you know, at peace, to not be anxious, just to be chill. So I was typing all my thoughts or whatever. It's like, you know, I don't let nobody use laptops in here unless you're ADA, American Disability Act, unless you're handicapped. I didn't have no paper. And we had one assignment in class, and just at the very end, I was able to transfer what I typed down onto paper and get credit for those points. And then we had one little homework assignment where I had to just sit in front of a camera and between 2 to 4 minutes, answer a few questions so she could get to know us. I just did that right now, like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It'll be part of the vlog. But yeah, it sucks. I can't use my laptop. I'm like, what? That's crazy. So I gotta get some paper right now because I'm off tonight at midnight. Gotta come home. And I gotta go back to school in the morning. And luckily tomorrow I work, so I'll probably go straight from school to work. It won't make sense to go home. Probably just read a book at Starbucks before work tomorrow. And I'll be able to get a decent night's sleep tomorrow. Probably come home, take my dog for a night walk. I feel bad, haven't taken her out. I feel bad for all my dogs. My landlords are on vacation and the dogs are just sad. Yesterday while I was at work, all the lights were off, so they were in the dark for a while. I left some lights on for them though. They're sad when their owners and their masters aren't here. They'll be back on Thursday. I feel pretty bad for them. It's barely Monday. But yeah, so I'm gonna see how I do. It's my first day, school and work at the same time. Day one, it's barely Monday. Gotta make it all the way to Thursday. Anyway, come along. Peace. Gotta make it to the dollar store. Get some gum. Get some glasses. My other one's broke. Some lotion. Pen and paper. I wish I had my handkerchief, but that shit's dirty. It's got these glasses. You can still see through them. You can't really see, you know? You can't see that little tint of madness in my eyes. My cousin JJ just sent me a fucking picture of him and I back in the day when my stepdad Jesse took us to a USC football game. You could just see pain in my eyes. You could see aggressiveness or something. Look at the book. Flipping open like a fucking spell book. I did burpees today because, you know, I couldn't get a run in. I had to get my workout in, you know. I don't know if I'm going to get a run in tomorrow. Definitely try to do a couple rounds of some cardio of some sort. I got to go to school in the morning and head to work right after that. And then I get out. By the time I get home, take about an hour and a half. It'll be about 8 o'clock. I could go for a run. All depends if I got homework too. I gotta wash his backpack. Shout out to my homie Edit. Shit mad sweaty. I got like those white sweat stains on it. But I got the paper and pen that I needed. And I'm all set. Pretty cool class so far. We don't gotta pay for no book. She said it's free. And she'll pretty much tell us when we gotta go and get a reference from the book anyway. So it's Psychology 101, so it's just an introduction to it. And she said she's not the type of teacher to make us like, oh, I'm the teacher that wants you to fucking, I'm gonna be so hard on you. She's like, no, I want you to learn. I'm not a fucking Marine instructor. She said she was in 10 years in the Army, I think, or the military. Anyway, gotta read. Peace.
Arbitrary. Insouciance.
Obstinate.